standard deviation and variance in grouped data. Now once again I'm going to show you a quick method of calculating standard deviation when you've got group data, and we're going to do this once again using the calculator. So this is the calculator method for finding standard deviation when you're given grouped data. Now when you're calculating standard deviation with grouped data, you'll be given a table with class intervals, and each class interval will have a frequency. So here's an example of hourly salaries. So the class interval of 20 to 24 has a frequency of 3. So 3 people have an hourly salary between 20 and 24. And 5 people have an hourly salary between 25 and 29, and so on. Okay? So we're going to find the standard deviation of the following hourly salaries. All right? Now the first thing we need to do, because these are class intervals, is we have to find the midpoint. Now to find the midpoint between 20 and 24, you add them together to make 44 and divide by 2. So the midpoint between 20 and 24 is 44 divided by 2, which is 22. The midpoint between 25 and 29 is 27. And the midpoint between 30 and 34 is 32. The midpoint between 35 and 39 is 37. And finally, the midpoint between 40 and 44 is 42. Okay, next you have to learn these steps for the calculator method. So switch your calculator on, press the shift, then the mode, and then the down arrow on the big circular button in the center of your calculator. Then 4, 1, and then mode again. 3, 1, and then you're going to start by filling each midpoint followed by equals. And then you're going to fill each frequency followed by equals. Then you're going to press your down arrow, that big center button in the middle of your calculator, so you press it down, AC, and then shift, and finally 1, 4, 3, and then equals. And this will calculate the standard deviation of the hourly salaries. So have your calculator ready, switch it on, press shift, mode, and then the down arrow on that big button in the center of your calculator. Press 4 and then 1. Press the mode button. Then 3 and 1. Then we start with the midpoint 22 equal, 27 equal, 32 equal, 37 equal, and 42 equal. Then scroll to the right and scroll up so that you're in line with 22, and you enter 3 for 22. So 3 equal, 5 equal, 9 equal, 4 equal, and finally 3 equals. Then you're going to press the down arrow on that big center button in your calculator. Then press AC, shift, and then 1, 4, 3, and then press equal to find the standard deviation of the data series. And the standard deviation should be 5.86 to 2 decimal places. Okay, and finally, finding the variance using group data. Remember that the variance equals the standard deviation squared, or the variance equals sigma squared, which is the sign for standard deviation. And for an example, if the standard deviation in group data is 8.76, then the variance will be 8.76 squared, or 76.7376. And similarly, if you are given the variance, for example, if you're given the variance is 76.7376, then the standard deviation will be equal to the square root of 76.7376. The standard deviation will be equal to 8.76. Thank you.